Sunday, everybody.
Tell people what's going on.
Welcome to week 31 of 52 weeks of focus.
Getting out to a late start, but
yeah. Babe had to work today.
Putting my business out there.
All right.
Thank you.
You did.
But was out doing my thing, and I had to put in a little time, so we getting a little late start today. So yeah. So
also, we officially joined our church today.
oh yeah. Shout out to
Metropolitan Baptist
Church, Largo, Maryland. Holla at your boy.
We received the right hand of fellowship.
Yeah, man, that old school. They do it old school out there.
Yeah.
Old school. So
so great start to the week so far.
Yeah, definitely good to have that covering. They've always been, amazing to us. So might as well have made it official while we are here. So
Yep. So, did you want to say anything before I get started? Or no?
What you mean?
No, because you usually talk a little bit before we get into it.
Oh, I'm tired, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't have any other major announcements or anything like that?
No major announcement.
Nothing yet, huh?
Nope, nothing yet.
See, this was stuff we can't tell y'all. That she just wanted me to say what it was. She wanted me to say it and then be like, yeah, I'm not doing them like that.
Okay.
Shout out to my brother, though.
Yeah.
How about your boy? That's what she wanted me to talk about. That's what she wanted me to talk about, but I'm not gonna
because that's up to them. So
exactly. Yeah. She trying to give you the spill the beans and then get like, oh man, why you put that business out there? But it's a good thing. But I'm gonna let them do that.
But
and a lot of
we should be able to talk about it next week, maybe.
Oh my God,
hopefully.
Nosy black folks, I tell you.
Anyway, so this week's title for week 31 of 52 weeks of focus is spiritual laziness.
You both ain't got no tough skin. But go ahead and hit that little clink. Go ahead and go to the end. Go to the end.
So we struggle to stay focused on our spiritual journey. And sometimes we become complacent on that journey and we become lazy.
Mm-hmm.
We start off strong when we first join the church or we become Christians and we do devotional every day. We do prayer every day. We're doing everything that we're supposed to do, but over time, things kind of start to fall to the wayside, and we become lazy spiritually, and that's when the spiritual attacks and things start going chaotic around our lives, or around us, and in our lives, because we forget where our focus comes from. So this is what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to give you like 4 quick tips on how to overcome that spiritual laziness or standstill. All right. Did you have something to say?
Well, laziness in general can lead to some pretty vulnerable, some pretty vulnerable, can lead to pretty vulnerable places.
Yeah.
Whether it be spiritually, whether it be physically, whether it be mentally. It's extremely important for us to understand that, like, being lazy is easy. Like, it's real easy. Yeah. If you want to get up and run, man, you want to get up and run, man, please. Yeah. You better feel good.
Yeah.
I don't feel like getting no food, cooking no food. I'm just going to go get it from the store. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Or you don't feel like, I don't feel like being considerate today. You know. My wife, too much energy.
Oh boy.
Things like that happen. Like it pushes you away from not only the purpose that God has for you, but it pushes you away from who you are.
Yeah.
When we get complacent in those areas, and we continue to be less worried about pushing forward, and we should always try to push forward. Whatever it is that we're doing, because we're not doing it for us, we're doing it for Him. So as we go through this quick list, please don't limit this just to spirituality, but make it a part of your daily kind of
routine.
Like everything. I don't want to step on your point.
Yeah.
So it can kind of like not just talking just spiritually. We're talking about every area of your life. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. I will be doing the first 2 points, and Babe will be finishing off with the last 2 points, 3 and 4. All right. Just starting with the first point, which is make time with God a part of your routine. This is a key step in terms of being spiritually fit, as well as mentally and physically. Just starting off with a Bible verse, of course, like we always do, Galatians 6:9. And let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up.
That last part's crazy. My bad. I'm going to be on your point today because I'm on one. I was tired earlier, but I'm on one today.
Oh, God. This verse clearly says, in due season you will reap. And do not give up. You can't get any more like obvious, and that's a powerful Bible verse. You can apply it to so many areas of your life. Although you may not feel like, your job is reaping benefits right now, or your physical fitness routine may not be reaping benefits right now, or your spiritual journey may not be reaping benefits right now. Just know that in due season it will. There are just a few things that you can do to incorporate God in your routine that will help keep you from that spiritual laziness. One is spending time with God when you first wake up or before you go to bed. I know some people get up like super early for their jobs, like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, or they may have to 2-3. Our friends Selena and
don't we put in business there? 2-3.
Because he works at the airport.
Who is Selena? Oh,
yeah,
them.
Yeah, well, one of our friends works at the airport, so he has to be at work at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know who that is.
No, it's it. Okay. Anyways, so from the marriage rebate.
Got you.
So that's just an example. I know he's more likely just getting up, getting ready, and going to work because he has no time. I mean, you're going straight from sleeping to pretty much work.
Right.
So he may actually, get that time in on his lunch break or when he gets home at the end of the day. Everybody has different schedules. Just like sometimes I have to work out early in the morning, and I don't have time to do my devotionals first thing in the mornings like I usually do. I'll do it at lunch, or I make time at the end of the day before I actually go to bed. What matters is that you get that time in. Not saying that you have to sit here and spend hours upon hours upon hours, but as long as you make that connection with God daily, it will make a huge difference in the long run.
I'm about to jump on your point. Go ahead. I'm about to hit him with it too. Go ahead. Cause you
So also you must pray where you are needed and not in certain areas. You do not have to pray on your knees. You do not have to pray in a certain place. You don't have to pray in a certain rooms. If you feel the urge to pray where you are, because that's where you may be needed at that point in time.
So here's the crazy thing, right? For the longest time, I thought you had to have knees on the ground, had a little pray hand, and you had to be in that thing like this.
Eyes closed.
And you had to have your shoulders right, arms tucked and everything. God does not care about that, y'all. I'm be honest with you, all right? The thing we learned this weekend,
yes, at our new membership classes,
at one of our classes, was certain postures of prayer. Postures of prayer. Yeah. All right. Guys, it doesn't matter as long as your mind is focused on God.
Yes.
God is going to hear you.
Yes.
It can be anywhere from driving in the car. Don't close your eyes while you're driving.
No, don't do that.
But if it's he feels your heart, he knows your heart.
Yeah.
And if you just say, God, protect me while I'm in here. Heck, I used to do this when I used to work in Atlanta Enterprise Rental Car. I'm telling you, man, I used to have to close that door. Lord, please help me not be crazy. Or nobody be crazy on me. Like, it's literally 5 seconds of your day. All right? It doesn't have to be a certain time. It doesn't have to be a certain area. Yeah, it's 2-3 seconds.
Yep.
Every day.
Yeah.
Hey, we got apps now. They can pull up the Bible verse for you.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So,
I'm sorry about jumping.
So I've gotten the routine of kind of praying where I am. I'll pray when I walk into work. I'll pray before I go into a meeting. I'll pray before I talk to my boss. I'll pray in every major decision within my life. And it's become automatic because I have made God a part of my routine. Mm-hmm. When you make him a part of your routine, you make him a part of your decisions. Mm-hmm. And if you make him a part of your decisions, you won't be stirred wrong. Because you'll get a nudge within your spirit if something's not right or something that you're about to go into isn't right if you pray about it before. And I think that goes along the lines of also like financially, like before you make a big financial investment in something, you have to pray about it and talk to your significant other or, talk to, your husband or wife, because that financial decision can have some implications, right, in your future. Just like I think Dave Ramsey with Financial Peace University, he says, if you're going to make a big financial purchase and you see something you want, like a car, go back and think about it for 24 hours and then come back. That's just like with God. He doesn't tell you to rush into things. He wants you to take a step back and think about it and pray about it and let him lead you. Right. It's when we lead ourselves is where mistakes and burdens and things come up.
Right. And one big misconception when it comes to that, what you're talking about, is waiting on God. God's path is not like easy. It's not the easy choice. And more times than not, the easy choice, like the quickest, bang for your buck, is long term not the best. Mm-hmm. So if anything's require you to rush into something or rush into a decision or rush into, anything that can't give you 24 hours or 48 hours to kind of like look at it long term, yeah, you might want to, pray harder on that one. Yeah. All right, because you don't want to put yourself in a position where, we're putting our will into things instead of God's will, and we both definitely know how that goes. So, and that's not too good. So, yeah, I'm jumping on your point.
No, you're good. So going on to the next, tip in terms of making time with God and putting it in your routine. Make sure there's various apps out there like the YouVersion app, the Bible app, whatever Bible app that you have on your phone. There's like thousands of devotionals that are, it targets what you're trying to and what you may be wanting to pray for. Mm-hmm. Whether you're dealing with anxiety or depression or financial issues or relationship issues or, any type of issue, right, you put that topic in and devotionals come up. So you don't have to necessarily try to allot 1 to 2 hours off. Those devotionals take maybe 5 minutes, if that. And then you have the option to where you can make it private and to where you can actually journal on that particular devotional by day. Mm-hmm. I know I love it because sometimes my day is just so hectic, and taking that time out, especially like during lunch or something, kind of refocuses you and helps you to get through the day. Mm-hmm. And also, don't be afraid to journal when you're doing your devotional and you're making that routine. It's when you sit down and you write things out is when things actually come into existence.
Mm-hmm. Get right everything out, baby.
So I always say speak life. You have to also, put that speaking life into action by writing it down. Mm-hmm. There are so many things that I've written down that have came into existence. It's not.
Hey y'all, I'm put on blast.
No, babe, no.
Y'all, I found the list.
No,
I found the list. I found the list, y'all. I thought she was lying. I ain't gonna say, because she just said it on here before. She made a list of what she wanted and everything. And
God says, make your Okay, so since he's gonna put me on blast, yes, I wrote a list out in terms of what I wanted in my future husband.
I thought you were lying.
Yeah, and it slipped out of my Bible.
It
slipped out of my Bible doing Bible study last week.
But you know, my question, what is there doing in there?
What you mean?
They got what you want.
That shows my true testimony. That shows, that can encourage somebody. Whatever. Anyways, but down to the T, like I was very specific.
Oh no, y'all, for real. She was like real specific. It's kind of funny, which I could just show it to y'all, but it's funny. So I go in there and get it.
No, you're not going to go in there and get it.
But
anyway, getting back on topic. So that's it for point 1. Make time with God a part of your routine. Moving on to point 2. Point 2. Diligence equals spiritual discipline. Starting off with Bible verse Proverbs 12:24. The hand of the diligent will rule, while the slothful will be put to forced labor.
I'm gonna jump all on your point on this one. I'm not gonna lie, because you know that D word. The D word is my word.
I know.
Can you define what diligence is for the people, please, before I jump on this one? Because go ahead. So, what do you think diligence means?
To me, diligence means persistence. Diligence means
right.
dedication. Diligence means, motivation to complete something. But in this instance, to grow spiritually and closer to God.
Diligence is intention.
Intention
To complete, follow through, get it done. Please. Ain't no please. We gonna get it done. Sorry, not sorry. It's either done or it's not done. In the book it say, what it say? Wait a minute. The slothful will be you will make it harder for yourself if you don't remain diligent. You can't take. I'm sorry, I'm on the break. You know that D word get me.
I know. So, continuing on point 2, choosing diligence means choosing the hard, uncomfortable step.
Go through that thing. It's a marathon.
If that's what God has set in front of us in order to accomplish His will, it is not for us to try and avoid the hard way out instead of the easy way out.
Hey, bro. Someone be putting too much energy into trying to figure out how to go around the obstacle instead of just
going through
it, man.
That door may be closed and you're trying to pry it open, but you don't know what's behind that door, but God does.
You put more energy into cheating than it is. See, I ain't even gonna go on nobody's marriage like that. I'm good. I'm all right now. I'm all right. Hey, now look. You shouldn't have put it up here. The D word, the D word get me started.
I know. Okay, so back to point 2. We have to practice diligence spiritually because we're consistently under spiritual attacks.
All the time.
Those attacks can come supernaturally. Those attacks can come from others. Those attacks can come from other spirits that are around you through people. You have to constantly put on the armor of God and be vigilant.
Every day. Be
diligent in keeping God within your mind, within your mouth, whatever you speak. You have to. It has to be of God. And the more you study the word, the more God's word is more prompt to come out of your mouth instead of hurtful things. I know we're human. We're going to get upset. We're going to get hurt. We're going to get, be spiteful and revengeful because that's just us as humans. We're a ball of emotions. But we have to show the love of Christ despite how hard it may be at times. And that is where diligence equals spiritual discipline. And the more we arm ourselves and are diligent in learning God's word, the more growth we will experience spiritually. So I think it's Ephesians 6. I think it's verse 27 through 32 or something.
Wrong,
if it's wrong, don't hold me. But I know it's most definitely Ephesians 6 when it talks about putting on the armor of God and being diligent in learning God and learning God's word. the more you study the word, the more you're able to apply Bible verses to different situations you're going through. Instead of speaking and trying to speak out of turn and speak out of anger, you can talk. You actually start to speak Bible verses, or you'll sit here and somebody may come up and cuss you out. You want to cuss that person out back, but
no, I've been there.
You have to keep on the armor of God because you are a child of God,
Right.
and you are held to a different standard. So you have to be spiritually disciplined as much as possible because those attacks are coming. And they may be more subtle than you think. They may not be as obvious as you think.
I'm telling you now, the opposition, like, he is a master at the little stuff. Like he'll do this.
Yeah. You know that drop of water that kind of hits you on your forehead like they do to like torture people? Yeah. That's how the opposition works, just like he's doing.
Just picture this for 30 years. You're going to be ready to smack the juice out of somebody. That's how you do. But you got to continue to be diligent and build some consistency within your spirit and your mind and your physical, so you can, that don't bother you.
Yeah. Right.
That don't bother you. So
Right.
I'm a little brother, all right? I learned the art of getting on people's nerves.
Oh.
I'm telling you. That gonna get on somebody's nerves. But you gotta arm yourself daily.
Boy.
You have to arm yourself daily and be diligent in doing that. Guys.
Get down, buddy.
Diligence
Get down.
and
Get
fruit
down.
go together.
Get down.
All right. If you are diligent, and she talked to the dog during the video. Diligence is the only way we'll produce the fruit that God wants in our lives. It's the only way.
Yep.
It's not gonna come easy. Yeah, people talk about miracles and everything, and that's great, and they do exist. But let me tell you something. There's definitely some diligence going on somewhere in that process.
And your faith is built sometimes in your delay of receiving your blessing. I know Pastor Wood, he actually, or Servant Wood, he talked about this in his sermon today. He was talking about faith and the unexpected. Most people think that in order to grow your faith, you just have to just sit in the Word and be there. But sometimes God, grows you and stretches you when you have a delay on what you've been asking for, and He's silent. So just continue to be diligent and spiritually disciplined, and that blessing will come before you know it.
I promise it's gonna come. I promise it's gonna come.
In due season, it will come. So, all right, that's our first 2 points, and Babe will finish us off.
All right, it took 20 some odd minutes. It's cool.
I wonder why. That's interjecting on my points.
My bad. All right, so point number 3. And I would not.
It's your word.
All right, point number 3. When it comes to laziness, guys, or lacking diligence, it actually offends God. I don't want to tell you guys, I'm not here to tell you guys how God feels about this and how God feels about that, but I will say that your lack of diligence or laziness does affect your path. There's a misconception out there that you can't miss what God has for you. Yes, you can. Yeah. All right, and laziness and lack of diligence is definitely one of the ways that you can. So we'll go to Proverbs 21, 5th verse, and it says, "The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance." Ooh, I said earlier. But everyone who is hasty comes to poverty. All right, so that's exactly what I just said. All right, those that have the ability to remain diligent and continue to move forward, and continue to move in their faith, continue to move in their mental capacity, always willing to learn, fruit will come. I promise you. I don't know when, all right? But if you continue to build and build and build, I promise you, God's going to bless that tenfold, okay? We have to make sure that we understand that our work honors God. How we pursue it honors God. What we do to protect our interests and what we feel that God has given us honors God, and we have to remain aware that how we live our lives honors God more than any word you can read in His Bible. You can know Genesis through Revelation, all right, but if you're not living that, that is a dishonor to God, and we want to make sure that we don't want to represent Him in the right way. All right, is that?
Nope.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So, when it comes to laziness, we have to make sure that we understand why we are lazy. All right. We are not perfect. Sometimes we don't want to wake up in the morning to work out.
Oh, I thought you got pointing the finger at me.
We come home from work and we like, y'all, I ain't feeling it today. All right. We have to get to a point where we recognize that we are being lazy. And when we do recognize when we're lazy, do it whenever you don't want to do it.
Okay,
right?
pause.
What happened? What happened?
So Babe's acting like he's like I'm the only one that doesn't get up in the morning. No. Sometimes.
No.
How you just gonna point at me?
I mean, I did first part, but in the second part. All right. So it is definitely a process. That is part of the process. All right. Recognizing that, hey, you know what? In this area, I'm showing up. Like for me, eating. Hey, y'all. I work out. I like working out. I like running. I like doing all that. That piece I had last night. Hey, bro. Oh, you think there's more shade? You did have something too. But we have to recognize that it is a process, and learning how to identify our weak moments and our weak places is part of that process as well. Okay. Is that?
No.
Sure.
Sure. No.
Sure.
Yes.
Cool. So, last thing about how laziness or lack of diligence offends God. When we are lazy and when we lack diligence, that means our focus isn't squarely where it is supposed to. As Victoria said earlier, there are millions of things that we focus on out there. And not all of them are of God. And I'm definitely, I've done this before in the past and in the future, but I do it now, where we tend to get distracted by other things and other people and other situations, and we forget to honor God and our commitment towards the path that He's followed, what He's had for us. And in those moments, we have to make sure that we ask for not only the strength but the wisdom to, deflect on the things that really don't matter in the grand scheme of things. Okay. 2. I'm gonna keep that one short. Good.
Yeah.
Straight. So point number 4. All right. Point number 4 is when it comes to getting rid of laziness. I think the approach that glorifying God in all areas of your life is a great kind of mantra to have to defend laziness or lack of diligence when it comes to our spirituality, our physical and our mental. We have to make sure that we take the right perspective on not just our lives, but how God can, kind of what I'm trying to say, orchestrate the lives of everybody to work for His good. So I think, I'll repeat it just so we can get the title right for number 4. Number 4 is glorifying God in all areas of your life. I want to make sure I say that. But we'll go ahead and go to 1 Corinthians chapter 6, 20 verse, and it says, "For ye are bought with a price. Therefore, glorify." I said prize. That's price. Jesus, let me. The computer far away. Sorry. Let me try that again. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, 20 verse says, "For ye are bought with a price. Therefore, glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. All right, cool. So it makes it sound like I can't read. All right. So that verse is actually extremely important to not just maybe Victoria and I, which we kind of look at it monthly. Surprised I don't know it by heart, but And that basically says God paid the ultimate price for us. All right. So in return, we must glorify God and look at God to be our resource and live for God. All right. And in doing that, we from everything we do, from the way that we take care of our bodies, whether we take care of our minds, whether we take care of our neighbor, whether we take care of our brother, sister, family, whatever, a house, we have to take the initiative to achieve the maximum possible, whatever it is, all right, to glorify God. Because God, without God, we wouldn't even be here. Okay? Anything?
No.
Sure. All right. So we have to make sure that we are keeping our mind on Him, though. All right. It's very easy to lose sight of the price that He paid for us when we're not focusing on Him. All right. So, like Victoria said in the very beginning, it's very important that we make Him a staple in our day. All right. I know for me, I have the Bible app. They shoot me a verse every day, 7 o'clock. All right. And if I hadn't given God his due diligence by 7 o'clock, that's my reminder. All right. We have to make sure that we do things for Him. I like working out. I like, running. Well, I now like running. I make sure that I, either pray before I run or give God a thought while I'm running, or, making sure that we are inputting God in our lives every single day. Okay?
Okay.
Cool. Now, the reason why it's important to glorify Him in all points of our lives is because that actually rejuvenates us. All right? It reminds us of how special that we are. I know it's 3-point-something billion people in the world and all that kind of stuff, but He made one of us. All right? One of you is one Philip, is one Victoria, is one of you. All right? And God put something specifically in you, and He gave you a specific task to complete. That's pretty special. 1 in 3 billion. That's pretty special. Limited edition. All right. And we have to take that role very seriously. Whether He wants us to be the best cook, be the best, teacher, or be the best soldier, or be the best whatever. Whatever it is He has assigned you to do, He has assigned you to do it to the best of your abilities. And it will glorify Him, I promise you. All right. And we have to make sure that we're taking our whole selves into it. All right. But we can't do that if we sectioned off to these other interests and these other things going on. Okay. And lastly, we have to understand that this is a daily walk. Daily. Every day. All right. Every day. That's what makes it so tough. Every day. This morning I wasn't feeling good. A lot of stuff going on in the news, a lot of stuff going on, whatever. It's rough, but we serve an amazing God. We serve a fair God, and we serve a magnificent waymaker. So yes, even when you are not feeling it, even though even when the world seems like it's conspiring against you, he's gonna be in your corner. All right, and we have to make sure that we remain confident in that, and in return, that confidence will come back to us, and we'll be able to live with that confidence. And while everybody else is running around crazy, doing all this other stuff, we'll be calm and we'll be able to make the right decisions.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. All right. I will do a quick recap, and babe will close us out in prayer. All right.
I could have sworn I didn't.
No, I didn't.
All right.
All right. So point 1 was make time with God a part of your routine. Just making God a part of your daily routine before you go to sleep, when you're at lunch or before you go to bed, will help you with your spiritual laziness. It will keep you motivated. It will keep Him a part of all of your decisions, whether you realize it or not, because you'll be including Him in all areas of your life. And just moving on to point 2, which is diligence equals spiritual discipline. You have to You have to be diligent or persistent or intentional about your walk with God. Sometimes you have to choose the hard way out versus the easy way in order for God to grow you in areas that are needed in order for you to be successful for your future. Only He knows our future. So sometimes it's best to take the uncomfortable step in your life and stay the course. You have to also practice diligence because you are constantly under spiritual attack. Whether that be spirits that are around you, or it be people, or it be, things that are going on around you that are chaotic or crazy. You have to keep that calm and that peace personally, because if you allow others to dictate that, then you will never be happy. Moving on to point 3, which is laziness offends God. God never intended for us to be lazy in our walk with Him. He never intended us to be lazy in our daily lives. He intended for us to be intentional in every area of our lives. And you have to keep in mind that your spiritual focus may affect your goals. So the more focused you are spiritually, the more likely it is that you will be able to achieve your goals because you're focused on the right thing and for the right reasons.
Cool.
All right, going on to point 4, last point. We have to glorify God in all areas of our lives. Just kind of a summary of what I talked about, or what we talked about for the last 3 points, that we have to include God in every single area of our lives, whether we feel like it's necessary or not, because He will keep us focused when we become procrastinators, when we become lazy, when we become unmotivated. He will help to keep us motivated. And we have to get up daily with that in mind, and stop waiting to feel motivated, and start and be self-starters in terms of motivation, and including God in our lives. And He is always there for us. Whatever time we wake up in the middle of the night, He is there. Whether it's 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, if you feel like you need to talk to Him, talk to Him. Because that may be the best time that you and Him can talk and He can connect with you. But that's it for this week. Let Babe pray us out. And that will be it for this week.
Jesus will. All right, guys. We'll see y'all next week. Let me stop playing with God before you come on now. All right. Heavenly Father, thank you for being who you are. Thank you for not being of this world. And thank you for being a covering for your believers and your non-believers. God, we want to say thank you for just continuing to provide peace in a world that seems to thrive off erraticness, chaos, and this unsettledness. Thank you for just continuing to sow into those who bring light to the world, and we pray that they continue to sow their lights and not let this world discourage them. Also, God, I want to pray that you bless those that are listening and those that are hearing and those that are not listening with the wisdom and the understanding needed to get through their personal journeys and get to their personal assignment and get through that personal assignment that you have assigned for them. Also, God, I want to pray for peace, pray for love, and just pray for togetherness as we continue to walk and sow into you. And hope everybody has a great week. I pray that everybody has a good week. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. See you guys next week. Hope you guys have a prosperous and productive week.
My middle rock getting better.
Oh, goodness. All right. Bye, everybody.
All right, guys.